Hey, what's up? It's Sunny from Pool House Recordings and No Wake, and we're still going over the album Wait What by No Wake. We are on the song Leaving Home. Uh, this is arguably one of the coolest songs, in my opinion, that I've written before. This song does not get enough love, in my opinion. I think if we had, the thing is, I wish we played this song more live because it is a really cool song. But it is one of the slower paced songs, and we play pretty small shows, so we want to keep it. We want to keep up the energy in those shows. And we already have one soft song, like a very pretty, like it's even softer than this. And if we had a longer set, I would definitely throw this in there because it starts off, it's pretty slow, pays off huge in the end, and I love this kind of song. This song probably took up the most amount of time at the studio because there was so much going on in this and so many little hidden features and little tidbits that are just really cool. And lyrically, this song's like it's basically about how like all my friends have moved away from home. They either moved into the city, a couple of them moved to California, Colorado, uh, New England, New York. Everyone was kind of spread out. So when I was working in real estate, I was just going to work, coming home, smoking weed, watching TV, and just like doom scrolling online. And I'll just be stoned and watching all this news and like all these materialistic things on the internet of people with their nice cars and trying to show off and make it on YouTube, and then all these news headlines of, and this was all during COVID too. Everyone was trying to scare everyone with the pandemic, and things weren't great in the world. They still aren't. So this song still holds up. But it talks a lot about that stone state after work of just doom scrolling, watching the news, and we'd get home from work and do nothing but be fed this either materialistic crap on the internet or just like bad news after bad news after bad news and watching the world burn essentially, which is what the lyric is, and being stuck in that thought. And like the second verse almost doesn't make sense. And Sebastian, who plays guitar for No Wake, kind of argued with me about this verse and thought we should rewrite it. And I was like, this verse is kind of my stream of consciousness when I'm stoned and doom scrolling and thinking about the world. It goes from talking about seeing these materialistic people and thinking that they are like elegant beings and they're better than everyone, and then seeing all this stuff in the world, and then me thinking of like what's my role, and what role do I play in the world, and like the fear of like, do I play a role in the world? I see all these people doing great things, and I see all these bad things happening in the world, and I'm like, where do I fit into all of this? That was my stream of consciousness. And in the end, lyrically, it turns into like, man, this is really all I do is come home and think of ways I'm gonna make it and think of ways I'll be successful, but I too busy doom scrolling, and I'm too busy getting stoned and watching TV, and that's it. Yeah, it was just it's the full stream of consciousness. It's a really cool song if you want to listen to it. So it starts off here with this lead guitar riff. It's kind of got this like Wild West desert vibe going on to it, right? And then there's this this droning sound coming in, also from the guitar. That's actually a mix of guitar and synth. So that goes on this whole intro, and it's guitar and synth. I do have us figuring out the droning tone on the guitar here. So we use that pedal right there. That's my Polera reverb pedal on the halo setting, and then I think we mixed it in with delay on this line 6 as well. And we just swell the volume like you do for droning.
Reverb.
And that Polera brings in, that halo setting brings in those like halo sounding harmonics. Sounds like a choir in the background almost.
Sounds pretty good to me. So I think
so that was a cool little effect that we threw in here as well. And there's a lot going on in this intro. Drums. It's just like a swampy tom part. And he took out, I guess for this part, all of the fucking tone of the tom. Just completely dry tom there. Pretty thin sounding, right? Because at the studio we had a timpani that we recorded into this. And that's with the tambourine as well. And that timpani sounds massive. And I actually have a video of this, of us recording the timpani here. A timpani, you need someone to, I'm sure you can do it yourself, but we wanted some more control over it. There's a pedal here on the timpani that controls the pitch of the drum. So we found the pitch that we needed and had Sebastian stand there completely still while Tim did the part on the timpani. Super cool, huge drum. We thought it was a cool idea to throw that in there. Really adds to that swampy vibe, makes the whole track sound bigger than life. And then the bass is just this like blues riff. It leads right into the chorus with that bass line. All right, now we have the chorus, right? All right. Time to explain one of the coolest things we did on this album, in my opinion. This little tidbit that's under each chorus is a harpsichord, and it was a complete and utter accident. So this sound is a 1930, it might be 1830s actually, harpsichord. And they just had it at the studio that Doug worked at. And I can pull that up actually too. This is the song that we did like most of the coolest stuff. This was our, Leaving Home is such a cool song because this was our experiment song. Anything we wanted to try, we did it on this song. And it came out so cool. It was a very basic skeleton of a song, and we wanted to beef it up with as much as possible. While we're tracking this song, Doug asked me, hey, did you is there a thing in the demo? Do you have the stems? Is there this like toy sounding almost like a xylophone or something in the chorus? Or am I crazy? Because I think I hear it sometimes and other times I don't hear it. And if I don't hear it, it needs to be there because I keep hearing this little thing, and we didn't do anything about it until last day, which was our post-production day. This thing had been sitting right in front of us the whole time, And we didn't even try to play it. Doug kept telling us, yeah, you could fuck with it if you want. It just sounds like a harp, but it's like piano keys on a harp. It's a harpsichord. And Sebastian found these little wooden blocks that, because this thing's ancient. It's like over 100 years old. It's probably almost 200 years old at this point. They can mute the strings by dragging these little wooden blocks that are on the front above the keys, one for each string, and then you can pull this little wooden drawer out. It looks like a tiny little wooden drawer, and it mutes the string. So pulling it out all the way mutes the string completely. Putting it halfway or a quarter of the way mutes the string a little bit. So Sebastian found this little sweet spot and started doing this little riff over the chorus. It almost sounds like an Eminem kind of Dre beat lead. Then Doug took it a step further, added a quarter note delay, a tremolo with the tremolator, the Sound Toys tremolator, and the auto pan, the Pan Man, I think. And it came out like this to the sound it is now. So you can, like, if you have headphones on or whatever or something, it's moving across. But yeah, it sounds almost like a clock. I've never been able to recreate this sound with anything else. It was such a good raw track. And yeah, this is one of the coolest things we've put into a record, because it's like a vintage, like an actual like 1800s harpsichord. And it all came out by accident, because Sebastian was just messing with the harpsichord and then figured that out and was like, hold on a second. Played the tune he was like, this would fit in Leaving Home really well. And we figured out the part, and after the effects, it made the record, and it sounds so cool in context. It almost makes you feel like you're in a dream. I love this. This is so cool. And it's blended in here with the lead guitar that's doing this Pixie style kind of lead. They're not playing the same notes, but they flow really well together. Second verse, we have this spacey flying away sound going on that I think Doug created that at the studio. Then back with the synth again, droning under this whole verse. Just to have in the background, because it's supposed to feel like you're in this daze. It's supposed to feel like you're in this weird dream state, this whole verse. And then at some point, you like wake up, and that's when the droning stops. So you get this whole vibe going on. You have the guitars going on. You have this dreamy lead guitar going on. And then you have this droning going on. And then everything comes to a stop, except just the palm muted guitar and a vocal. And it's like you snap back into reality. And then we explode back into the chorus, but not before Doug does his... He loves his tremolo, man. These weird effects, just to give you some more excitement. He kind of had this automated tremolo going on, and then more panning to just make this sound like it was flying away. And just slam right into the chorus. Then it starts with its first chorus is pretty soft. Second chorus, we slam it harder. Same kind of low main, like, lead vocal, and then smack them with the high harmony. This, like, Anthony Green kind of sounding high harmony. And we flipped them so that this one's the lead now. And this is still going on here in the chorus, and it continues to go on past the chorus too, actually. But the lead guitar changes up. Again, a very balance and composure kind of vibe going on here for us. Yeah, it's a really cool part there. Then we bring you to the bridge. I told Doug to, like, make my harmony come in with this, like, stepped delay kind of coming in. So I think we've reversed it, and what's cool is that with the rest of the song, it almost sounds like in the background there's a ghost coming in. Soloed, it sounds like a straight delay, because it is. It's like a reverse reverb, reverse delay thing coming into the lead vocal. But in context, almost feels like it's bouncing in. I think it's really cool. Because it kind of starts mixing with the guitar, and it feels like it's really bouncing in. Yeah, this is the part lyrically that I told you was about, like, oh, like, this is, I mean, verbatim, like, we're making millions next year. I swear we're taking over. We say when we get home from work, too stoned to turn it all around. Consuming media until we overdose on information. We'll sit here and watch the world burn. I think it's powerful. I like that verse a lot. It's and it leads right into a really cool bluesy, so heavy bluesy solo. And Doug adds this little bit of tension with these wind chime samples coming in here. It's not the first time I've used wind chimes on a record, actually. But he wanted this to sound like, it kind of adds with the build-up, right? It's so subtle that you would never guess that this was there. But it just adds to the noise and adds to the chaos. Yeah, that part I've recorded that in the live room right in front of the amp because I wanted all the feedback we could possibly get. Especially here at the end. That's all about the whole song, I think. We got the timpani, we had the harpsichord, we had the tambourine, we got we got the synths, we've got the wind chimes. There's a lot going on in this song. super cool experimental song. Starts in this swampy blues vibe, ends with a balance and composure kind of bang, and it gets those heavy, like, high Anthony Green kinds of vocals. The song is really cool, and I think it deserves more love. But that's Leaving Home, by No Wake. And yeah, thank you for watching. For more content like this, click the follow or the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more of these videos. I'm putting more. That was song 5, so we're about halfway through the record. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you later.